Hello everyone, Dan Kid with Jeet Physiology and more, and today is day 4 of staying consistent. Obviously, big part of staying consistent is actually getting up and doing something. I've actually had people ask me, how do you do your morning routine in the morning? How do you keep yourself motivated to do your morning routine in the morning? Well, number one, of course, staying consistent. And the way that I became consistent is I just kept doing it. I wouldn't beat myself up. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but when I first got started, for a while, I was actually really bad about being really hard on myself, beating myself up. But I learned over time that, you know what, it doesn't really get you anywhere. It just gets you discouraged. And then, the thing is, you do not want to have an emotional attachment. You can be obsessed with something and without emotional attachment. I know a lot of people think maybe that doesn't make much sense, but actually it does. I'm going to explain this the best way possible. Okay, so when you have an emotional attachment to something, you basically are dependent on it. Oh, I got to do this training. I got to do this workout, whatever it may be. And a lot of times, even just saying the term work out, I got to work out, as opposed to I'm going to go train. That's again has to do with the mindset. But the thing about it is, when you say I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do it, that's what basically makes you have an emotional attachment to it. But if you say I'm going to train, even if you don't want to, I wouldn't expect anybody to say, oh yeah, I want to train every day, because when I get up in the morning, I don't want to get up. I don't want to really do much of anything, just like a lot of us out there. And that's what that's how our mind protects us. But the thing is, instead of saying I gotta train, I gotta work out, I gotta train, I gotta do this, I need to exercise. No, say I'm going to train, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to do what is necessary. And the thing is that over time will deter you from that emotional attachment to it, and you can still be obsessed. Obsession is basically just an extreme passion, okay? And there's nothing wrong with being obsessed as long as you don't let it start affecting your life. So if you have a family, kids you're raising, things like that, don't be obsessed to the point where it's going to take away from them, because I made that bad mistake, and that's actually how I lost my family and things like that. I'm not going to go into details about my life and things like that over here, but I just want to tell you, I know from experience, and I learned from my mistakes the hard way. By taking on too much, there's not much family time. Guess what? Eventually, your family's going to be like, well, my dad probably doesn't really care. My husband probably doesn't really care, because he's not showing us that, even though they knew deep down that I did care. But the thing about it is that I was not showing them, even though I knew that I always had good intentions for what I was doing, but I had the wrong mindset, and I was taking on too much, and I had an emotional attachment to it, and I was obsessed. But the problem is, if I would have just taken out the emotional attachment to it to a point, I mean, it wasn't fully like that, but if I would just take the emotional attachment part out and still had the obsession, I would have honestly been able to accomplish more. But you know what? Things happen for a reason, and we all need to keep these things in mind. So back to it, all right? So as far as staying consistent, being like I said, people ask me, how do I stay consistent? How do I continue to do my morning routine and things in the morning? And honestly, here's the best way to do it. As soon as you wake up out of bed, very first thing I do is I make my bed. Then I take my cold shower. And then I do my 3 rounds of my Wim Hof breathing method. Then I do my 5 deep breaths outside, no matter how cold it is. And here's the thing, I just do it without thinking about it. And yes, it's second nature to me now. However, even when I first started doing it, yes, it was difficult, but you got to do it without thinking about it. Because if you sit there and you're like, oh, well, should I do this? Should I not? Your mind's going to honestly not allow you to do it. You're just going to end up probably not doing anything at all, and you're just wasting time on top of not doing anything. And then that's not a good world to live in. Okay, so as soon as you get up, like I tell people, as soon as you roll out of bed, literally roll out of bed, start doing some push-ups, start doing some bodyweight squats, whatever it may be, whatever it takes for you. You've got to know your body. Staying consistent, anything in life is about knowing your body. I've studied my body for the same last 21 years that I've studied fitness, nutrition, and things like that, okay? And I've studied my body, I know my body very well. When you know your body very well to such an extent, then that is honestly going to take you farther than anything in life. You got to know your mindset, how it works, your memory, things like that, how you learn, every little aspect, and you will never fully know your body. I have a good saying in life, no one will know everything about anything. You can study the same thing from when you're 5 to 105. You now guarantee you will not know everything about that one specific thing. So let's get out there, stay motivated, believe in yourself, believe you can do it, and believe that you deserve it. Let's get out there. Let's go. Punch, smash, punch, kick that like button. Just don't break it. Let's get out there and do something, everybody. Let's go.